on the sound. Shamanism is really coming back, and not just amongst the indigenous peoples. But look at us, we are here. 30 years ago, I would tell somebody I was interested in shamanism, and they looked at me like, what's that? You know, and then I'd describe it, and they'd go, weird. But something has really changed in the culture in these last 30 years. When I started writing books on this, there was just Michael Harner, there was Carlos Castaneda, there was Alberto Villoldo. We were starting to write about the same time. So not a lot was known in a public sense, but here we are. The internet, responsible for some of it, but consciousness has been shifting. There are other sources. For the first time in the history of any continent, we have enlightened masters from all the world's great wisdom traditions. Buddhist, Christian mystics, Tai Chi masters, Zen masters, you name it. It's all right here in North America. And it's all there in Europe. It's the first time in human history it's been like that. So we have a situation where energy, spiritual energy, is really circulating. There are lights all over the place, and it's affecting all of us, and we're heating up, and we are much more ready. Great contribution of shamanism that distinguishes it from all these traditions I just named. Its contribution is its earth-honoring spirituality. You cannot have shamanism without that. The shaman mediates between the Great Spirit, let's say, and the people, and between the people and the indigenous landscape. The plants, the animals, the elements. Nature, Mother Nature, is taken into the prayer life. It's never forgotten that we're living right here in the middle world, right here in the midst of soil and earth and wind and water, fire, of green things, of four-leggeds and eight-leggeds. All these are seen as worthy and deserving of reverence. And so, if we can call shamanism a spiritual tradition, this is its gift, and it comes at a time now where we really need it. Another gift of shamanism is its understanding of the heart. We all think we know what the heart is, and we all do in some sense because we all have one. But I'm not talking about the cardiac pumper. I'm talking about the spiritual center, the ontological source in your being, where the Great Spirit dwells. Last year, the World Health Organization and psychiatrist at Columbia College of Medicine asked me to contribute to this book on cardiovascular disease. It's now recognized that you have your cardiovascular disease by roughly age 11. And there's little you can do once you have it to stop it. It comes to full flowering and manifestation generally in your 50s and 60s. This is the fact. This is the result of the database of the World Health Organization, which I researched to pull my facts together. Because this is so, it means the problem of heart disease and cancer, by the way, most cancers, is cultural. In the indigenous world, you know, in North America, when the first missionaries arrived and start documenting what Native Americans looked like, what their lifestyle was, they were skinny people. They were not fat people. They did not have dental caries or tooth decay. They were in good health. It's not the case now. This has happened all over the planet. As Western civilization arrives, people start getting our heart disease and our cancer. The whole cultural mindset shifts. People start eating differently. They start carrying different stresses, because now they're out of balance. They're no longer listening to the heart. They're no longer eating in a natural way. The Cherokee had no breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's a human construct. You ate when you were hungry. So there'd be a bowl of stew by the door of the cabin and a ladle. So if you're hungry, go get some. So you didn't eat because you were bored. You didn't eat because it was breakfast time. You ate because you were hungry. The North American people would eat the whole animal, so they had all the minerals and all kinds of other goodies that you really need to stay physically healthy and not get heart disease or cancer. But the whole way of life implied in being healthy like that is being eroded by Western civilization, by our assumptions, by our fast-paced life, by our materialism, fast food. I was just in Paris, and I've been all over Europe now, and there's a McDonald's everywhere. But the neat thing about Paris is, it's not golden arches. It's the French are very much beauty lovers and aesthetics. So the M might be green or gold to match the decorum, and it will be in an old, beautiful 17th century building. Same way in the Netherlands and Holland and so on. But the disease is there. The fast food, the junk food is there. But of course, Europeans know how to eat. There's many, many good foods, so not down on Europeans about it. I'm saying that our lifestyle and the pace at which we live has shifted, and it's causing us to think about eating, think about health in ways that really aren't natural and help keep us in balance. So as I was doing the research for the World Health Organization, and I was wearing my medical anthropologist hat at the time, I was horrified to see it. I saw all kinds of demographic maps, and you can go to the World Health database. It's online. Anybody can go there and look at this stuff. We are getting heart disease somewhat under control here, and we've made great headways with cancer. But that's not happening in South America or any third world country, where now these diseases are spreading like wildfire. But you know what? There's hardly any modern medicine there to deal with the consequences of it. And if there were, the people couldn't afford it. There's no such thing as insurance. So it's a very, very sad thing to see. But it makes very clear to us that the change has to come before we reach the age of 10. And the only way that can happen is that we have to shape-shift our culture. We have to change our values. Now, C.G. Jung